What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials, pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. And also, please do not forget to stop by CMP Kits. We got Playlist MIDI Volume 5 out now. Grab it and get to work. Today, I want to look at how to make samples like the type that Alchemist would pick. I went ahead and prepared this for you guys. So this is a really easy sample to create, and it's in its base form. It's like this. So the thing about this style of sample, Alchemist has a lot of styles of samples that he'll gravitate to, but this one keeps on popping up, and it's versatile. You can make a trap beat with it, you make drill beat with it, you can make you can make like a slowed grimy Griselda type of beat. You make traditional boom bap with it. It's very versatile. One of the reasons why is because it uses classic sounds. We're talking about a piano bass, okay? Talking about a string library stacked with some synthetic strings out of Analog Lab, stacked with another set of like a synth pad here, right? So, and it's all playing the same chords. We started with this sound here. Then I added this sampler type of string pattern to fill up the lower octave here. And then to continue with that, I went ahead and added the synth pad. When you're making samples, because the process of sampling is to take, a given piece of audio and then put it through a sampler where it's going to, like, if you use a hardware sampler, it's going to reduce the bits, or people are going to want to put their own effects on it. You want to get like the most full um frequency concentration that you can, and the stacking instruments to help you do that. Lastly, I added this little bass line, and this is just coming from the piano. Now, this this is a very easy chord progression to achieve. All you got to do to be able to pull this off is you just have to know one chord, right? So I went ahead and I drew a B minor chord, and then the chord progression, or the actual chord, the altered chord that I hear in so many of these Alchemist songs, it's a suspension, right? So it's either a sus2 or a sus4. And the way that you make these chords is by taking the third in whatever chord that you draw to make the sus2. You just drop down to it from the third note in the scale to the second note in the scale, right? So that's your sus2. For your sus4, you go from the third note up one scale degree, and that's your 4, right? So that's how you get this is all pretty much one chord just voiced, with these two different suspensions. Um so it's really one chord playing, but because of the different suspensions, it gives it a different flavor. What that winds up doing is it gives whoever samples this um the ability to do a couple different things with it, right? So if we go down to the actual sample and listen to it, um you can go about this a few different ways, right? You could, for one, just use it as a loop. right? You clean that up, make the start point different, and you can use it as a loop. What you could also do is you could take this, put your auto chopper on it, or go ahead and find your chops, however you enjoy doing that. I'm gonna create some auto fades here. I'm also going to send this to a sampler. Now that we've got these samples in here, I'll just make sure that this follows the tempo, and we could go ahead and pitch these up the way someone who samples would. You want to leave all that high end in there so that the person who is creating the final beat with the sample, they can choose what they want to take out and leave in. But you see, when you have those two different versions of the chords, when you have the regular triad, or you have the different suspensions, it makes it easy to just do a regular auto chop, and just kind of play around randomly and find stuff that fits, because all of these chords share that first and fifth note. Yeah, so again, it's a perfect kind of sample. It's super easy. All you need to know is this chord progression. You go ahead and you pick your sounds out accordingly. Make sure you got plenty of high end. Make sure you're filling out the frequency spectrum by stacking at least 3 octaves. And don't be afraid to put a little piano bass line in there. Um, one note that I want to give you guys about this piano bass line. You notice that I had 4 chords in this chord progression, but the first chord and the last chord are the same. You notice how I have a different bass note for the first chord and the last chord? That's just going to add more chopping opportunities, right? Where I've got this first set of notes that's the same, and it's just this small variation, one note in the bass line. These are the kind of things that you want to keep in mind. If you're a sample maker who is sampled in the past, just think about the stuff that you would like to sample. And you guys that make samples that haven't necessarily, come up chopping samples, I would suggest that you get some old songs, like some actual songs, and try to make some beats, sampling in the traditional styles, so that you can kind of get a better idea of how some people might come across your works. This is CMP with Craftmaster Productions, Studio1 Tutorials.com. You guys keep it simple, but do not be basic, and we will see you on the next one.